Okay, I'd like to introduce Chris Shannon, the Director of Youth Programs for the South Shore Workforce Investment Board. I first spoke with Chris a few months ago, having been referred to her during an interview with the Director of the Quincy Career Center. Since then, we've met and discussed having the Marshville School District coming on board and partnering with the South Shore Workforce Investment Board. Okay, Chris, can you just give me kind of a global overview of what your role is and what the goal is for the South Shore Workforce Investment Board youth programs?
The easiest way for me to summarize it is the way I summarize it for youth. I tell them my job is to make sure they can get jobs. Now that encompasses, making sure that we know what the labor market demands are, what jobs are actually available in the South Shore region, the kind of education and training they need to access those jobs. That starts, quite frankly, all the way down into middle school.
Great. So after we met, after I had contacted you, you were very excited about partnering with districts in the South Shore area and talked about the Future Ready Network and its goal to ensure all youth are college and career ready. Can you kind of explain this initiative a little bit and give some of the benefits to local school districts?
Absolutely. So the Future Ready Network the Future Ready Initiative, but of course, came out of achieve.org. They created the initiative, and 5 states, adopted it, Massachusetts being one of them. So there is a Future Ready initiative that's being run out of the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, Department of Higher Ed, and the Massachusetts Business Alliance for Education. We are the first workforce investment board to actually adopt Future Ready as a regional initiative. It's usually something that's done actually at the district level or at the city or municipality level. So other districts can absolutely explore Future Ready for themselves. The Future Ready metrics to ensure that students are college and career ready are traditionally the metrics that were proposed in the state's Race to the Top application. Excuse me, really bad allergies, so I may have to get some water here. Better.
Take your time.
However, those metrics don't really apply at a regional level or for a workforce investment board. It includes a lot of information, quite frankly, that we don't have access to, like SIMS and MCAS testing scores. So we created our own metrics that include what we feel really addresses the need specifically for the at-risk youth transitioning from a secondary setting, whether it be willingly, unwillingly, or dropping out, into whatever the next best step for them would be, but to ensure that they have those skills and the information they need to eventually end up in a career or job that will earn them self-sufficient wages. So we provide supports through a variety of funding streams to local school districts, but not just school districts, but we also have government agencies and nonprofit organizations that are part of our network. And we're all working together to try and improve the outcomes for youth.
Great, and that's exciting for Marshfield because I think that we can access some of the supports that you are going to offer. And we had talked about a grant through DESE called Connecting Activities. So when Marshfield partners with you this year, what kind of supports or resources will be available to us?
Well, it depends on the specific needs of the school, and we always try to adapt what we do to the needs. The ultimate goal for Connecting Activities is to ensure career readiness by creating a systemic career program within the school that makes sense for the school, but ultimately ending with work and learning opportunities, whether they are paid or unpaid, for school credit or not for school credit, an internship, a co-op, a work study, service learning, those sorts of opportunities, and to provide the guidance to ensure that they are viable opportunities. One of my big pet peeves are the schools that require community service for graduation. So what's the educational viability of shoveling sidewalks or raking leaves for, an organization or for elderly citizens? Service learning makes so much more sense where they're actually connecting their academics to and applying it to a workforce-like setting. So those are the types of things we'd like to move towards, but we need to meet the school district wherever they are. Some of them have really have a lot of things in place and they just need help bringing it together. Some folks are really starting at ground zero, and whatever support we can provide to either the staff or the students, we'd like to do it.
Great, and one of those things was the, I think where we're going to start is the Mass Career Information System that we can you can train us on, I suppose, and can you explain that a little bit?
The Massachusetts Career Information System, or Mass CIS, is one of the best kept secrets in Massachusetts. It is a comprehensive site that spans from middle school age students all the way up through adult with 3 different portals. That provides them with comprehensive career planning and college planning tools as well. And it is free, paid for by your Massachusetts tax dollars. So if you go on there, you can actually take an in-depth look at occupations, but not just what about the occupation. What are the physical demands of the occupation? What are the working conditions? How can you prepare for it? What are the hiring practices? What are the career pathways for that occupation? But even better yet, what are the wages in a scale setting throughout Massachusetts for that job? Because what teachers get paid in Massachusetts, very different than what teachers get paid as a national average in other states. As well as what are the job outlooks. It doesn't matter if you obtain the education and training, you do all the career planning you want, if there aren't any jobs available there. So you want to make sure that you're making informed choices as a student or as an adult. And you can do that through Mass CIS. It'll also help you plan the education and training you need. It's connected with Peterson's, so it has all the information about colleges, community colleges, private training institutions, 4-year institutions, etc. You can search by program of study, and then even better yet, you can sort financial aid opportunities that will link you directly to those opportunities for free. Don't need to pay college planners, don't need to pay anyone to provide this information. It's readily available. Finally, I just want to note that students can actually create accounts through this, and with the accounts they can save their searches. There are assessments on there. They can save the assessments, and then the school can set it up as an administrator. You can actually track their progress like you could with Naviance, but with more intensive career artifacts and resources available than you can find in Naviance. And once again, have I said this? For free.
and we use Naviance now, so I think
many schools do.
I know. So I think we'll maybe starting within our special education program, and maybe they'll listen to us about moving toward a program like that.
Naviance has excellent marketing tools.
I know, and we're paying for it.
Yep.
And you also mentioned some things for staff, such as an externship, and then we talked a little bit about that Credit for Life fair that may be down the road. So
all sorts of great things. So we provide professional development. Sometimes we do it simply, we can come and provide a workshop for teachers, but we can also provide group externships. We provided one in lean manufacturing, which a lot of people say, well, we're not going into manufacturing or we don't offer programming, but lean manufacturing is all about streamlining a process, especially when you process a lot of something. And that something can be a product, but it can be information, it can be students, it can be healthcare. It has applications across a wide degree of industries, but it's also kind of the new ropes course. It promotes critical thinking, teamwork, adaptability, and communication. And what teacher wouldn't benefit from that kind of environment? So we provide group trainings in lean manufacturing to teach these skills. We also provide paid externships. This is where we pay teachers to go into private industry settings to learn more about that so that they can start to craft curriculum that actually has a real application in today's work world, so that students don't keep asking, why do I need to know this? So we pay you for the opportunity to go into the business, to work in the business setting, and then we pay you for the development of those materials to benefit not just your students, but students across the region.
Great. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is I saw, as I was looking through your literature, there was some information on, training students, high school financial planning program,
Right.
and what color is your parachute for teens So just
So
mention a
the
little about
financial
that.
literacy piece, there are materials available for free. Big word here. This is from the National Endowment for Financial Education. It's part of a free kit that's available to instructors, which includes all instructional materials, online supports, and student modules. Students get to keep the modules. These people even pay for shipping and handling. Mm-hmm. The information, it's educationally viable, it's non-branding, it's been crosswalked to the Common Core, and it's available. So one of the things that's very important, it's not just a matter of preparing students for careers, but making sure that they can access college and make informed college choices in regards to their finances. So many students are dropping out of college because of debt, and then they end up with the debt and with no degree and with no job prospects. And they would have been better off not going to college at all and going to college and dropping out in an employer's eyes. So credit for life fairs are one avenue that you can use. We can provide some assistance in terms of getting something started at the local level. There are a lot of school districts that have employed credit for life fairs, which is a half-day simulation opportunity for students who they do career planning before they come in. They calculate what their net monthly income will be, and then they transition through 12 different categories of spending choices they'll need to make, such as housing or transportation. They have fixed alternatives. They pick what they want, but the challenge is they have to budget their checkbook by the end of the month. And there are credit counselors on hand. It's a great, and I've seen so many students who come out saying it was the best event they attended their entire 4 years in high school. So these are just some of the financial capability tools and resources that we can assist school districts with.
Okay, great. And then finally, Chris, we should talk a little bit about the process for becoming a partner in the Future Ready Network. How does a school district go about getting connected?
It's really quite simple. All you have to do is just tell us you want to be connected. There are two different ways to join the network. One is simply as a member, and a member is just someone that says, we agree with what you're doing, we like what you're trying to do, and we want to be connected. We want to be connected to the other schools and organizations that are on board and learn from the peer-to-peer resource sharing that's going on and see if we can cross-refer to better the outcomes for our students. So it's just simply a notification. There is a Connecting Activities grant application that we file on behalf of the region, and when that happens, school districts usually sign a letter of support. It's a simple form where they simply put their name and the superintendent signs saying yes, they are partnering with the Workforce Investment Board. So that's to be a member. To be a partner means that there's some level of exchange of resources. And what we did for the first time this year is, with some of the anticipated funding for Connecting Activities, we released a small RFP to local school districts where they could apply for funds to fund directly staff people at the school whose sole responsibility will be to coordinate existing programming that supports college and career readiness, and or to help facilitate the creation of this programming, and then to report back on us. So we pay, quite frankly, for people to attend meetings and reporting time. So we understand it's an imposition and it's outside of the contract. But we don't pay for programming. We can't afford to do that. It's quite frankly something the school needs to sign on and engage in and invest in themselves. And if they do, we'll do everything we can to support their efforts.
Well, Chris, thank you so much. I so appreciate the time you spent with us sharing your knowledge of the college and career readiness supports available to all the school districts in the South Shore.
It was a pleasure, Teresa. Thank you.
Thank you.